Good morning, it is just before 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning, which means parkrun, of course, all been here before. And this morning's parkrun is a bit exciting. First of all, we're going to Fulwell Quarry, which I believe is near Sunderland. I'm not really sure, it's being driven there and then going to turn up and run basically. And also, I've got the On Cloudmonster in a lovely colourway here. I've looked at this shoe and loved it for quite a while and finally got my hands on it. It's not the 2, they've released a newer version called the On Cloudmonster 2. This is the original because, let's be honest, it's a bit expensive basically, and I got this at a bit of a discount that I'll get into later when I talk about details. But basically, I'm going to run in this today, a bit of a kind of threshold effort, see how it does at a slightly faster pace. I've done one run in it so far, see how it performs basically, see how I enjoy it at a little bit of a faster pace. At least I think I'm going to do threshold. We'll turn up and see what the course is like. Let's go and do Fulwell Quarry. I've made it to Fulwell Quarry PARKRUN with the On Cloudmonsters on my feet. Ran like half of it's a 2-lap course. Ran like half a lap. Looks really nice. It's kind of all on this gravelly stuff or even a bit of grass. So it looks nice. Not particularly fast. So I'm just going to go threshold effort, I think, not actual threshold pace, and see what happens. Just have fun. No pressure. Just work a little bit harder than normal essentially, and see how the shoes go on rough terrain as well, so it's an extra challenge. Yeah, looking forward to this. Done warm up, do a couple of strides and then get going. It's Jamie Styles. Had the first timers briefing. Fulwell Quarry, it's the 6th event I think. It's a really new parkrun, but yeah, looking forward to this one. Let's go.
In the local. Have a great run.
Fulwell Quarry, let's see what we can do. We've been going downhill for a while, which is worrying for what's to come. Thank you very much. Cheeky little item bag. Thank you. Well, that was incredibly annoying, but not too bad. Made a little move just before a hill. How stupid. .632, so I'm one more to go. Hate to say it, but it's working harder than I thought I would. I'm not looking forward to getting going again after this out and back. That was horrible. To finish. I'd be lying if I said that was threshold, but did get position number 9 because of it. Don't know what time, but reckon it'll be in the 20s. We'll see. Lovely parkrun though.
Frantically searching for your ID. So well done. Just need your ID first. Well
Cheers,
done.
brilliant, thank you.
Put it in
Excellent.
the plastic box. Thank you.
Okay, it's been about a month since that parkrun. Very slow with uploading videos at the moment. But anyway, I've got the shoe here, the On Cloudmonster, the original version. And here are some of my first thoughts about it. So I've ran 65 miles in it now, so quite a bit. Got a nice taste of this shoe, and I have to say I absolutely love it. I have quite a lot of positives, a couple of negatives about it, and I'll take you through them now because I think in general this is a really, really good shoe. but I think you have to think about who you are before buying it, maybe. First of all, I'm not going to bore you with the stats, partly because I think daily trainers like this, you just don't really need to know all of the stats. There are quite a few out there that do similar jobs, and the stats almost kind of get in the way. I think they are useful, but you really just need to know how they feel on your foot and a bit of personal preference. But the main thing about this one is that it does have a speed board, as they call it, in there, which is a bit of like plastic that acts as a board. It's not a carbon plate or anything, but it is a board that makes it a little bit more snappy and responsive. And that's why I think this puts it into the daily trainer category rather than the easy day category, even though I have been using it for mostly easy runs. As you saw in that, I did a threshold run in it, and it's really good at those faster paces. So that is positive number one, is it's very adaptable of a shoe. I think if you're only getting one shoe, you're going to be pretty happy with this. It's nice and cushioned. It's still a max cushion shoe for those easy days, but the plate in it gives you a bit more pop when you want to go a little bit faster paces. So I did get this shoe as an easy day shoe, one to do loads and loads of miles in, put the long runs in, all of the kind of, not junk mileage, but the general aerobic training. I got the shoe. I've looked at this shoe for a while and really wanted to try it out. It looks really fun. I've heard that it feels really fun, and I think it lives up to that totally. It is a nice shoe to run in. Like, it feels like it's got something. So at first, when I first got it, it felt really quite firm. I hoped it would soften up, which it did within like 2 runs, within about 10 miles it had softened up a bit, because it really was quite firm when I first got it. And I think it is still a firm shoe. There are a lot more cushioned, max cushion shoes out there, if you see what I mean. If I compare it to my Asics Gel Cumulus, which has kind of gone out of the door and this one's come in, they're very different shoes. The Asics is a lot more cushioned. It's like running on a cloud, whereas this is cushioned, but it's still firm, and I think that's what allows it to perform better at higher paces. And I think that can be good in a shoe. At least for me, personal preference, I land probably about here. I'm a solid mid to 4 foot striker, which I have kind of changed. That's something that I've trained myself to do. I definitely was a bit more of a heel striker. And so for me, that kind of cushioning, I guess, isn't quite as important. It's still, like, you can see there, let's see, you can see it's still really squishy and everything, but it just feels a bit firmer, a bit more solid underfoot, and I think that gives it a pretty good stability. I did actually a long run just today that was very twisty, turny corners occasionally, and some off-road bits, and it seemed to perform really well. The grip on the bottom's good, like, it's nothing special, but it's perfectly good enough. People have complained about the groove in here to the speed plate that's caught stones, and they've updated that on the new version of the shoe, the On Cloudmonster 2, so it's not there, and people are like, brilliant, not going to catch any stones. I've run 65 miles in it and I've never caught a stone in there. Like, I don't know, that's not a reason not to get the shoe, I don't think. It'd be interesting to see how the wear pattern goes on this, because obviously you've got the general CloudTech foam, and then you've got these harder bits of rubber here to protect the sole a bit. They look like they're pretty durable. I know a couple of people who have run a lot of miles in these, so I think they'll last for quite a while. And I think that's pretty much it for the positives. It's a really fun shoe to run in. It's one of those easy day shoes that doesn't just feel like a passive shoe in some ways. And I guess that's partly because of the board. I feel like it's doing a bit of the work as well, but still protecting the legs nicely. Really good for long runs. People say this is a good long run shoe. I totally agree with that. I think it's great for long runs, especially if you want to up the pace a little bit. The main negative for me that makes this shoe an interesting choice is the price. I cannot get around how expensive this shoe is for what it does. It's a really nice shoe when you get it, but I would not pay full price for it as a normal runner. So the On Cloudmonster is £160, the On Cloudmonster 2 is £170, so I think if you're going to buy it at full price, just get the Cloudmonster 2, like, you might as well. It's £10 difference. Don't really know why the Cloudmonster 1 hasn't gone down less. Apart from, if you look around a little bit, I found this colourway at JD Sports for £110, which I think was a pretty good bargain. And as easy day shoes go at the moment,
that's really not that bad. So I was very happy to pick it up, and I kind of snapped it up while I could. But yeah, shop around for it, because I don't think you should have to be paying £160 for this shoe unless you really, really want it, you know it works or something like that. It is a great shoe, but is it worth £170, £160 for something that you're just going to put loads of miles in and it's going to like be dead in 6 to 8 months? I don't know. It's a bit of a hard one, that, but overall, I really love this shoe. I think it's great. I think it's a great easy day option with the ability to go a little bit faster as well if you want. Don't think it's a shoe for everyone. Not a shoe for beginners, I wouldn't say. Like proper beginners. I think there are sort of better shoes that can just protect the legs. You don't need them to go fast. You don't need them to be flashy. Yeah, they can protect the legs and do it for a cheaper price. I think if you are just wanting one pair of shoes, like a daily training shoe, I think this is great. If you look at the kind of options around it, you kind of end up looking at the Nova Blast, maybe the Rincon as kind of the Hoka Rincon as options for that kind of ones with a bit of a plate in it, or ones that can go a little bit faster. I'm trying to think of other brand options that you could get, like Puma DV8 Nitro, the non-elite version, that kind of goes a bit faster as well. That's got a plate in it. Those are kind of your other options, and they're kind of around similar price, especially if you get a discount on this. So if you want one shoe to do a lot of things, this is a very, very good option. I wouldn't say it's described as max cushion. I wouldn't just like, I don't know, it's max cushion with a twist, I'd say. But that's my personal preference. I think it is a firm shoe that provides a lot of pop. Not the absolute softest, but I have been running in gel Keemses for the past 6 months. That's pretty much it. Whew, think I've said a lot about this shoe, but and maybe a lot of like waffly things, not necessarily statistics, but that's what I think about this shoe. I think it's a great shoe. If you get it, you're going to have a lot of fun with it. I'm really happy I got it, and every time I run in it, I think I'm happy to be running it, and it looks good as well. This colorway has grown on me a little bit, to be honest, but this shoe is really nice. I love the On Cloudmonster. Yeah, let's see where it takes me in the future. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.